Hello, everyone. I am Bewitching Beautiful Bliss, and this is a Black woman's narrative in Utah. So I've had this account for a while, but just decided today to go ahead and activate the YouTube account. I've had a lot of feedback from people saying you need to just start talking about everything that's going on with you. I was like, why? That sounds boring. But I said, okay, I'll go ahead and take a chance and see where this goes. So I have it connected to a new Instagram account, and I will be very selective about who I choose to view this page because it will be connected to the YouTube page. So anyway, just a little about me if you don't already know. I was raised primarily in the South, but I spent my formative years on the West Coast in private school, which is why I sound the way I sound. I've heard it all, but that's neither here nor there. I'm in Utah. I've been here for over 30 years, and it's beautiful. It really is. I never would have pegged being here when I was younger. Like, who goes to Utah? Especially Black people, because 1% of the population, yes, you heard that right, 1%. And even after the Olympics and Hurricane Katrina, where a lot of people were displaced and brought here, it's still 1%. And I'm okay with that. I don't have an issue. I'm not unaccustomed to being in a room and being the only one. I'm just comfortable in my own skin, so I don't worry about that too much. Anyway, military town. There's probably going to be two more. We'll see. There's been a lot more activity since the conflict in Iran, but typically they come in threes. Maybe I missed the other two. Anyway, so why did I decide to do this? I've had a lot of confirmation from other people, again, saying that I should be talking about just everything. So I'm going to ramble. I'm going to talk about everything and nothing. And hopefully, you get something or glean something or whatever. I really don't have any issues or problems that I don't mind sharing, but also I'm not in competition with anyone. I'm not interested in monetizing. If that happens, great. If not, I don't care. So just to go into a little bit, back to me. So 30 years here. I have been coming out here since the late 1900s and would spend summers and Christmases out here with my mom. I think here come the other two. Anyway, I'll pause if that happens. But I would be out here for summer breaks, Christmas breaks, go back to school. I got my bachelor's. I started my master's. I got a year's worth, and then I got married. Well, I was 23 when I got married. Very, very young. Now, in this culture here in Utah, they get married out of high school or in high school. So in this culture, it would have been not a big deal. But where I'm from, I was young. And honestly, I didn't think I was going to get married. I thought maybe I'll think about getting married in my 30s, and maybe I'll think about having kids. But 23, I was married. 25, I was pregnant with my first child. And I am a woman of a certain age. I recognize that I don't look it. In fact, when I was pregnant with my firstborn, I was rear-ended, and the officer kept asking me if I had my driver's license. I was 23, so I was a little annoyed, but I got it. I get it. It's fine. Anyway, it's a good problem to have. So I got married at 23, and marriage is not easy. There are ups and downs through the course of it. Raising kids isn't easy. If you're a mom or a dad, you know that. It comes with its challenges, but there are some really beautiful things that happen as a parent. I am now at the precipice of ending my marriage, and that has been quite the experience. I don't have him connected to this page. He's heard all of this before. We have an amicable divorce happening right now. Love was never a problem for us. We're still really good friends. We just don't need to be married. And I'm a journaler and obviously now a vlogger. So I've had a lot of documentation over the years of my experiences as a married woman. And there's something called karmic cycles. And I was definitely experiencing those just over and over and over again. And so finally, actually, it's probably been about 1.5 years that we've been talking about it. But proceedings are in place. And probably within the next few days, it'll be official. Where I'm sitting right now is in front of my bedroom. So I have French doors to the bedroom outside. It's so beautiful. I just wanted to be out in the sun. But to ramble a little bit more about that, the marriage, I guess I'm out in nature too. But to ramble a little bit more, it isn't the experience that I thought it would be going through this process. And some days are harder than others. Some days are fine. Some days are like dark cloud hanging over me. But what I wasn't anticipating and what's come up just recently is how flippant the government, the powers that be, look at the institution of marriage. You know, I took my vows very seriously. I thought I was going to be married forever. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. But I am waiting for a signature, and that's it. And when I talked to one of the attorneys that was helping me with the system that they use, because there's paperwork involved, but everything's done digitally. But when I was talking to one of the attorneys, she was like, yeah, I got divorced in 2023 and I didn't know for 4 months. And I was like, what? So no email, no call, no nothing. She's like, I had no idea. And so she gave me some tips on how to follow up and find out. But she's like, basically, you're waiting for a judge to sign the paperwork. And then that's it. So hearing that, I didn't realize the way I would feel. I didn't realize that it was kind of a gut punch. Like, that's it? Almost 30 years of my life, and I'm waiting for a signature from a stranger? Yeah, I was annoyed and perplexed. And I don't know that I felt like there should be ceremony. Certainly, that doesn't seem like you'd want for something so sad. But I don't want this to be completely sad. I want to be able to look back on all my memories and all of the experiences I've had and say, yes, those were worthwhile. I'm so grateful that I got them and that I was able to experience them. I try to live my life in gratitude. I try to be thankful for every moment that I've given because life is short. You know, I'm at the latter part of my life now, and that's crazy to think about. But in doing so, I think I'm able to make sure that I'm providing happiness and joy, not only to my children, but to people that are around me and the friends that I have. So anyway, I'm not really sure how I'm going to go about doing this. This is sort of an intro, but I want to say thank you so much for listening. And I know I rambled, but if you choose, you can organize my thoughts. And I hope you have a beautiful, bliss-filled day.